Welcome to another edition of African Americans Ain't Africans, the talk think show that proves without a shadow of a doubt that the so-called African American didn't find his way to America in the trunk of a ship. I'm your host, the indigenous one. And what you're looking at on the screen is a picture of the cat who used to torment me when I was a kid, 9 or 10 years old. He was the bully at our elementary school. I mean, just a out and out asshole. And one of the ways that he used to get by with what he was doing is just like this look you see on his face right then. This is how he smiled when we were in the fourth grade. Always had this look on his face. He recently just died, and I talked to his girlfriend, one of his girlfriends that was with him as we were growing up. And if I told you the stories of what she said, you would all cry. But this cat was a bully his whole life. And I was one of the persons he practiced on. And don't get me wrong, it was a time for me to learn too, because I'm learning the world and how people are. But he used to just kick my ass. I mean, because he could. And it made all the other people around, it made, how, when we're little kids, we're taught these dumb ideologies because they're passed down and passed down. We're taught these ideologies and we grow to love them, and we grow to teach them to our children, practice them against our children, practice them against our girlfriends, our husbands, whatever. And it's a syndrome that's going on now. And we've all been hearing about it for the past 10 years or so. This phenomenon called bullying. This phenomenon called bullying. Just being an asshole because you can be one. And I thought it was a good time to bring it out now because this cat just died. I don't know if he was my age or whatever, but he was around my age. And the pictures that I got sent from him, this is the nicest one. But you can see by the look on his face, this cat was a tortured soul. And I see this look on a lot of people's faces as I transverse throughout the city. And my question, later on in life is, what happened to this dude? Why was he like that? I mean, by that look on his face, he never smiled. He never felt good. He never laughed until he pissed on himself. That's what I see. And that's a cold position to put a kid in. Cold position to put a kid in. And this cat lived like this through his whole life. Bullying doesn't just come in the physical form where you just beat somebody up all the time, or you just take it. He was the Debo when I was a kid. Ain't that look? The Debo. This was the cat. And we have so many of our young men got the same look in their eyes today. Have to be muscle bound because that makes you feel like you're stronger than everybody. But when you're going against these white supremacists, you're nothing at all. And then when you go on flexing that stuff throughout your community, what becomes of your community? Because him, other brothers like him, and if you talk to them now, they'll tell you, and they're ashamed of it. They gave nothing. They gave nothing in life. They just took from life, just pimped life. And they normally die. Nobody cares about them. They didn't create or produce anything that anybody else could ever use. These are the bullies that live amongst us. This is one of the mental health issues that we are dealing with now, because we don't ask ourselves, why do these cats get like this? It's given to them. It's passed down to them. And see, we don't want to talk about our ancestors. We don't want to talk about our ancestors. And this is what is passed down to us. And this is where we are now. This is where we are now. There was a story today that came out in Wilmington, North Carolina, about these cops saying, we can't wait till the war jumps off to kill these niggas. This is their mind, that bully mindset. So you just kill people who are trying to raise families, trying to get a job, trying to make their way through life. This is who you will kill. This is who the city hires. This is who the city puts out to protect the citizens. And this is what I mean about you guys who call yourself African Americans, Black, Negro, all these are code words for them. They're taught to kill all of them. You're taught to kill them too, but that's another story. These are the people who beat your sons and daughters up and take their lunch money. These are the people who terrorize the hood. These are the people who other sisters get with to make other him. And we don't get it. We don't want to talk about it. You don't know that. Yeah, I do know that. This is what we produce. This is what's terrorizing the community now. This is what's shooting up all the pregnant mamas, shooting up the innocent grandmamas, robbing the innocent grandfathers, just going to the store to get something. This is what we produce. Now, I know we want to let's not talk about us, let's talk about them white folks. Nah, because this kind of behavior gives other people, other nations, carte blanche to come in and wipe us out. Because as long as we keep caping for these this is what we create. We create. Is their system. So I realize that we fall in line with their system, but we have a say-so. And many of us feel like we don't have nothing to say. Go ahead. I'm not here to change your mind because I can't do that. I know you're grown and you can do what you want to do. These are just suggestions that we make here. What we're creating is bullies. I mean, in this climate, we're dogging each other out. See, Breonna Taylor, a horrible. How come we're not protecting our daughters, our mothers from that, brothers? Why haven't we made a safe place for our women and children to live? What's the problem? We're always concerned about other people's stuff, then we're concerned about ours. Well, what is that? How can you even talk? Brothers don't even want to talk about it. Now, I don't care what walk of life you come from, brothers seem to shy away from this thing. And this is what I mean. We better get that mental health thing in order, because most brothers suffer from it. And you suffer from it because you've been changed. You've been changed from Negro. The African American doesn't do the same things that the Negro did, even though they're the same person. The African American doesn't do the same thing that Black people did. They're the same person. And this is how you can tell that they're being manipulated. Whatever they are, the people are being turned into the thing that the word or the term that they refer themselves to. So what is a Black person? He's not Black. His shirt is black. So if we're supposed to be a functioning people, how do we not look at ourselves and go, well, hey, I'm not Black. People tend to get like me. People take all of our intellectual property. What's so ugly about that? My shirt is black, and yet we refer to ourselves that Black means dead. That's what it means. The word for Black used to be blah. Yet we refer to ourselves with that. And for that Black Lives Matter thing, we're used like a ping pong. That's not even you. Other people profit off of our dumbness. And we cool with it. We cool with it. Because what you see right here on the screen, this is what we're raising. Dumb, don't know anything, always quick to go beat another brother down, would never go down to the police department with his homeboys and call out the police. Never go to a Mexican neighborhood and call them out like he would do his own people. This is what we produce. And always want to stand up saying somebody doing something against us, and we never recognize what we do to ourselves. You keep that up, you think you're in bad shape now. You have no idea. You have to make sure you're walking in the light, that you're walking in strength. You have to make sure that your sons don't even see stuff like this, because that's not the person you are. This is what I mean, the African American was created. You think he came out of his mama's womb with that look on his face? This is what I mean, it was created. All those ideologies, all those stupid ass beliefs that we have. How come Jesus didn't come save him? How come Jesus didn't come help him? This is what we produce. So naturally, when you have people coming in from other nations saying, most of the brothers who are in these jails look like that. This where we are. You won't say, you know what? We will never say, we got to fix this. No, no. We just let it go on and pass it to our children. Well, I'm not. I'm not. We can say anything we want to say, but when it comes down to it, we have to be responsible. We're just not on this planet to be dogged out by other people. I know many of you think it's okay and it's cool and you're with it, because many of us are. Many of us see what's happening to our community, and many of us go help the other side. They don't try to help bring no balance back on our side. And you try to be mad? No, because you ain't mad at us. You mad at yourself. Because you know that you failed. You had all this time on this planet and you didn't do shit. Didn't say or utter a word to help us formulate ourselves to get out of this mess. And this is what 90% of African Americans do. You mean at this time, the so-called African American community didn't have, since this whatever's going on, this virus, whatever's going on, we didn't produce a education system complete and devoid, because the one that was done is whack. It's not here no more. We all these geniuses, and my kid got an award at 53rd Street Element, all that crap. We haven't came up with a way to make sure our children remain knowledgeable in these times. We haven't done that. We haven't made sure. You mean that in all, let's take the 50 states, no African Americans in none of the 50 states have came up with a solution to the problem? We got all these teachers. Nobody to make sure our children keep getting better than what they were getting. Huh? We don't do that. We don't have the people in California coming up with a program that could be taught. The people in Maine, they come up with a program. We haven't came up with different ways to educate ourselves and to make ourselves a more global people. We haven't done that. You got all these historical black colleges. We ain't came up with nothing. That's where we are. So I just wanted to share with you this image of this cat. Take a nice long look, because if you check out what those cops in Wilmington, North Carolina, this is in the deep South. All you gotta do is pull it up online. Anything I say, you don't have to ask no questions and all that. All you do is pull up online. North Carolina cops caught talking about what they're going to do to African Americans. Just put that in a Google search. That's all you got to do. The information's out there for us, guys. I don't know what you mean. We always asking these dumbass questions. You have brothers talking, sisters talking for eon. The information is out there for us. It's right at our fingertips. The problem is we don't look for it. We looking for porn, football, scandal. That's what we're interested in. And we have grandchildren, and we're interested in that. Really? This is where we are. So I suggest that we get somewhere else. Start thinking clearer. Start paying attention to nature. That's the ultimate teacher right there. We're totally devoid of nature. We're scared of it. And other people, if you saw the places in this country that you don't see because you're in the movie theater, You outside jumping rope, doing the hula hoop and all that, and you don't even know what your own home looks like. You know more about what Africa looks like than your own home. And that's where we are. So those of you who are doing the things, getting on the land, doing the things, creating things, those of you who are putting molecules together, those of you who are paying attention to what's going on around you, you have to keep on doing that. I know it seems like it's futile because you don't have no hands to help. All the hands you need to help are off helping somebody else. Just stick it out. Just stick it out. It's not going to be long now. Those Georgia Guidestone tells you what they're about to do to a lot of the people on the planet. And if you're looking at what's been going on with this COVID thing, how they have totally, people are locked out of their own minds. They won't even think about what's being told to them. They won't even read what the CDC and all these other so-called agencies are saying. We just do what we're told. Like you see the brother on the screen, he was a cat that all he did was he told. And what he was told is to fuck up the black community. You see all these brothers out here shooting these pregnant mothers and nobody turning them in. Nobody's saying, yo, dude, that's wrong. This where we are? Yeah. This is what we produce. So we have to deal with this. No person from India, no person from Africa, none of them is going to come in and make your situation better. We're going to have to do that. Now, I know most of us are scared. In the upcoming weeks, we're going to do a series on mental health. And like everybody said, and I knew all of you have heard it before, that we really don't focus on mental health that much. It's not something we think it doesn't affect us. Yeah, it does. Worse than everybody else. Many of us don't even think we have a mental health problem. Mental health is not even, that's some made up fiction stuff. I heard a brother saying, and this is what I mean. What's wrong with these kids today is they don't get their ass whooped. No, that's exactly what's wrong with them. Just imagine somebody coming up to you, slapping you on the back with a leather belt. You wouldn't like it. That's not the way we did. That was a mistake. And we can't even say that. You have comedians now talking about how they used to get their ass whooped. That shit's not funny. That's how you beat somebody. That sounds like that old slave shit that we say we hate. Obviously, we love it. To have to beat your children to get them to understand what you're saying, and you don't know, and what you're telling them is some old bullshit that you done picked up. Because they won't do it. You're pissed at your kids because they can't. The bullshit they teach them in school, everybody within the sound of my voice knows that when you was in school, you was taught to be a dumbass. But then you send your kids there, and when they rebel from it, you beat them. Are you serious? This is the African American. This is the African American. You don't beat your children. You talk to them and you show them the way. The breakdown comes in that where the African American doesn't know how to communicate at all, and don't know anything to show their children because they haven't learned anything. And this is on purpose. The African American has chosen not to learn anything. See, they think somebody's supposed to come up and just give them something. That's not how it works. I mean, you haven't learned that yet. Nobody's coming to teach you nothing. They're making sure that you're dumb so they can take whatever you got and they can take it for themselves. We haven't learned that yet. No, we haven't, because we are the world. We are the African American thinks it's only right for all foreigners to come over here and take what his grandmothers and grandfathers have left them. It's for everybody. So this is what I'm saying. The African American don't think like the Indian. They've been trained to be this dude you see up on the screen. Men and women. And everybody knows a woman that looks like that. You gotta try to win, y'all. You gotta at least try to win. So we're gonna keep creating this. This is what we're gonna be? Imagine him walking up imagine introducing him to your mama. Ladies, what's the first thing your mama gonna say? Imagine your daughter walking up with somebody that look like them, fellas. What you gonna say? It's high time, way high time for us to start thinking another way. Because if we keep thinking like this, we gonna have a tough road to hoe. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. Get back with you later on this week. Look out, we're coming up with the mental health, because a lot of brothers, a lot of ex-military cats, when they get out of that horrors of the military, their minds are messed up. And we got to have a way to speak to them. The people that are doing it is not enough. We need all hands on deck. Thank you guys for hanging out with us.